Maps, who every single week at this point somewhat makes his way into the conversation, into something that we need to get into. Before I share my views, before I share my opinions, because people were raving about this, let's have a look at what the boys from That Z podcast have to say on their live session.
Oh yeah, he needed a payment. Unfortunately,
so was it him? Was it him? We called Your Maps. We called Your Maps. He said yes. Should I tell him the truth?
Go ahead, bro.
And then we spoke. He called later saying the wife wants 30,000 kwacha for him to feature.
30 pin.
You guys have put it on blast.
We put it on blast, eh? No, but once
but
you're
it's the truth, though.
yeah. Have we put him too much on blast?
It's crazy. It's crazy in these streets, but I love this because this is me sieving out my words because I don't want to sound any type of way, but let's put this into context. Now, as a person who listens to this podcast particularly, they had been talking about how next week they're going to have him, and this was in the episode they spoke with Mwizo Kanji. They were saying, oh no, he's going to be coming through, so it'll be nice to hear both sides of the story, or whatever. These guys' conversations, some are very interesting, and some cause quite a lot of controversy online because of how they handle certain guest women in particular, and one of the co-hosts is the one who's always in people's mouths. We've learned to love him. We've learned to understand who he is. Now, this particular video is a live that they were asking questions because viewers and their followers on YouTube and even on the podcast platforms had noticed that they said that they were going to have an episode with, you know, our boy Yo Maps, but he's in Tanzania enjoying a birthday week, birthday getaway with his beautiful wife. And so people asked, oh, what about that Yo Maps interview and thing that you said you're gonna have? So K Plus and Elson went ahead to expose or spill the beans that Your Maps had demanded 30,000 to be on That Z podcast. Now, this has divided the entertainment industry, not even the internet, us who are fully invested in these celebrities and follow them. It has divided us because, on the other hand, these guys' platform and what they've created is quite big and it's gaining a lot of traction. And I kid you not, if Your Maps was going to go onto the podcast, I am betting my left finger, my left pinky on it, that particular video will not go less than 100,000 views. I refuse to believe that that video would reach less than 100,000 views. And then if you know, Your Maps doesn't play with his YouTube views because there was that particular incident when the dancer had put up an enactment, a video enactment of Your Maps' song on YouTube, and the particular video got above 100,000 views, and YouTube counts 533 views equal $1. So 533, divide that into 100,000 plus views. It amounted to $1,000 US. Yes. And so because the song was Your Maps' song, all the money was going to Your Maps. And when the guy had said, oh no, I'd actually like to get a piece of this, Your Maps said, no, this is my song. You're supposed to ask for credit. So Your Maps knows how YouTube works. And by the way, his songs are leading when it comes to YouTube. So he knows that. On the other hand, people are saying it's the people behind him. These are the different views that are coming across. So there's that part, the fact that this is going to be a money-making venture and it will explode That Z podcast because Your Maps is by far, and not even arguably, one of the biggest stars currently in the country. So it's gonna gain so much traction for them. And also the people behind him, because they said Your Maps had agreed to the interview. He had said, I'm gonna come on. And then he later called and said the wife, Kidist Kifo, public enemy number one, the woman the internet loves to hate. She has different camps. There's the Mwizo camp, there's the Kidist camp. These are divided camps as they are. And I just love to watch these people go at each other every single time a topic comes up. She says he needs to charge 30,000 for the interview. Another thing, Your Maps said he won't go for an appearance unless he's paid 35,000 kwacha. Remember that. We spoke about that early this year. We spoke about how somebody had said Your Maps was not going to perform for free up until he is paid 35,000 kwacha. Doing the math, he's charging the same amount of money, roughly, for an appearance and also for an interview. Who's gonna have him on? And this was a conversation in the office. I mean, these people, for you to be relevant, you need mainstream media. You need any type of platform that people are following to hear you, to know more about you. And of late, YoMaps hasn't done a lot of interviews. Maybe it's because these people are afraid to actually let the cat out of the bag to say he's charging this much for an interview.